Good morning. My name is Kay Brandt, and I have the honor of being your worship associate this morning. We welcome everyone here and online to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Roanoke, with a special welcome to those who are joining us for the first time. We hope you will stay after the service for coffee in the fellowship hall. Let's take a second to stand or wave, connect with everyone watching at home. For those of you online who wish to share your joys and concerns during the Lifelines portion of the service, please put them in the chat in the next 15 minutes. We acknowledge that our church resides on the traditional lands of the Tutelo and Monacan nations and was later farmed and developed through slave labor. We recognize and respect the ongoing connection to this land by generations of Black and Indigenous people. May our gratitude and fellowship here echo and honor that rich history. Our minister today, Reverend Jen Raffensperger, is not in the pulpit today. Our sermon today will be by Ellen Plummer, and the message is Beyond Christmas Crazy. We could all use that. Words of welcome. Please join me in reciting our words of welcome. Whoever you are, whomever you love, however you express your identity, whatever your situation in life, whatever your experience of the holy, as you come seeking love, your presence here is a gift. Whether you are filled with sadness or flowing with joy, needing to be alone with yourself, or eager to engage with others, all who welcome all are welcome here. And now our covenant. We commit to supporting each other with respect and direct communication as we work in community to explore spiritual growth and to be a force for good in the world.
Good morning, everybody. We're gonna sing Jingle Bells this morning, but before we do, two things are gonna happen. One, I want you to get out any keys you may have brought, because these are gonna be your bells. Because we do it on a budget here at UUCI. And the other is I'm gonna share some facts that they said I was allowed to share with you about Jingle Bells. I tried them out first on them. Does anybody know anything about Jingle Bells or the composer of Jingle Bells? Anybody? Nobody knows anything? Okay, well then this will blow your mind. He is the uncle of J.P. Morgan, the banking guy. James Lord Pierpont. That's who wrote Jingle Bells. He was not the best family man, and that's all I'll tell you. I can give you a lot more information later. His father and his brother were both Unitarians and both abolitionists, and Mr. Pierpont that wrote Jingle Bells was not. I'll just say that. He lived in Savannah, and he defended the Confederacy when he was living down there, working at the Unitarian Church as their organist. The original song wasn't called Jingle Bells. Does anybody know what it was called? It was called One Horse Open Sleigh. And Jingle Bells was not initially intended as a Christmas song, and there's some argument over when and where it was written, but they say that it was performed by Sunday school children in Savannah. There's a plaque in Savannah and a plaque in Medford, Massachusetts, and both are probably wrong. But they both claim it, and Jingle Bells was the first song to be broadcast from space. So the two astronauts had a ruse that they devised before they went up in space. They pretended to see some object going into the Earth's orbit north to south, and they called Houston. They said, oh my gosh, we see this thing, and there was a lot of commotion, and then one of them played Jingle Bells on his harmonica while the other jingled bells. So in that tradition, we're going to jingle some keys or whatever you have, and somebody over here has bells, and we're going to sing Jingle Bells. So let's stand, because that's the most fun way. Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh, o'er the fields we go.
Good morning. I'm delighted to be here with you this morning. It's a real pleasure. Our opening words this morning, if I can get them to open, our opening words this morning are written by Elena Westerbrook to remind ourselves what is real. In a world ravaged by violence, by hatred, by conflicts that seem eternal and insoluble, sometimes the only thing we can do is to be still, for a moment, to remind us what is real. The sun that rose this morning, the dirt under our feet, the air whispering in and out of our lungs. This hour, try just to be present in each moment as it unfolds. Your simple attention is what makes these moments holy. I have some chalice lighting words to share in advance of Kay lighting our chalice, which many of us are familiar with, but it's a tradition that started around World War II in Unitarian and Universalist congregations, and we carry forward this tradition as we light our chalice at the beginning of our worship services throughout the year. Chalice lighting words are excerpts from the poem "The Hill We Climb" by Amanda Gorman. When day comes, we ask ourselves, where can we find light in this never-ending shade? The loss we carry, a sea we must wade. We've braved the belly of the beast. We've learned that quiet isn't always peace. And the norms and notions of what just isn't always justice. When day comes, we step out of the shade, aflame and unafraid. The new dawn blooms as we free it, for there is always light, if only we're brave enough to see it. If only we are brave enough to be it. Join me.
Hello, my name is Jessie McEwen. I am the Director of Lifespan Faith Development here. I use they, them pronouns. And now is the part that some of you have been waiting for. Some of you are already coming forward. I'd like to invite forward young people. And if you just want to get a better view, you can feel free to come forward. There's always at least one empty seat because it was mine. So I have something here. I mean, you can totally see it comes pre-labeled. But what do you think this is? An Advent calendar. What does an Advent calendar tell us? What day it is? That's like just generic calendar stuff. Yeah.
Sometimes it can tell a story. Like sometimes if you open the
Oh, so sometimes when you open these doors, it will tell a story. What story is that? Does anybody know what story that is? Oh, you're just like the shining star this morning. Give us what story it tells.
well, the one that I have is like one that tells the story of how Jesus.
Yeah, so the one that Ari has tells the story of tells the story of how Jesus was born. So there's bits of that story. There's like when his parents traveled to Bethlehem before he was born, right? What else is in your calendar? What shows up in your Advent calendar?
Well, I haven't. So, well, the one that the things that are in it is like.
Oh, there we go. The things that are in it are chocolate. Oh, cool. So your Advent calendar has ornaments that you put on a tree. Does anybody else have a cool Advent calendar? What's in yours?
One of them is like a wooden one. It's like a wooden Christmas tree.
Okay.
It's like a fabric one, so a fabric Christmas tree. And the thorn one is like an angel where you install an angel.
Oh, that's cool. So you've got two that are the Christmas tree with the ornaments. I'm just saying it in the microphone so everybody can hear. And one that's an angel, and you put stars on and around the angel. So we have a special one here. What are the words that are written right here? Can anybody read them for me? Hope, peace, joy, love. So Advent, we a lot of times think of it. So how high does this one go? To 25. So a lot of times we think of Advent as just December 1st to Christmas Day. It's actually the 4 Sundays before Christmas. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more upstairs. But every single word up here, we focus on for a week of Advent or a time of Advent. Sometimes the last little bit isn't a week. Sometimes it's much closer to Christmas than a week. This year it's going to be much closer to Christmas than a week. But inside each of these little pockets, I heard someone say there's chocolate. I didn't have enough chocolate. There's not room in this for chocolate for everyone. I am so sorry. But there's special cookies at coffee hour, so stay for that. But we are going to open the first one. Now, a lot of people start at 25 and count down. These are the days of Advent, so we start at 1 and count up. And we'll cover it up there. You guys are going to cover it down here. We got it covered. But I want to know who wants to open this first one. I saw Malin's hand first. Come on over. But then you have to pass it to someone else to read. Oh, it's super folded, guys.
Okay. Do fill this Advent calendar for.
So in this calendar, we will have do, observe. We're going to have a lot of different things that will bring us into Advent together, but separate, because we're not all coming here every morning. Sorry, guys. I love you, but I will be very confused if that happens. And in this one, our very first one to do is to fill the calendar. So these folks and the folks upstairs are going to fill up the Advent calendar that will be shared on our social media and in our newsletter every week. Y'all ready? Let's do it.
Our reading this morning is by the Reverend Rebecca Parker. It's called Winter Solstice. Perhaps, for a moment, the typewriters will stop clicking. The wheels stop rolling. The computers desist from computing. And a hush will fall over the city. For an instant, in the stillness, the chiming of the celestial spheres will be heard. As earth hangs poised in the crystalline darkness and then gracefully tilts. Let there be a season when holiness is heard and the splendor of living is revealed. Stunned to stillness by beauty, we remember who we are and why we are here. There are inexplicable mysteries. We are not alone. In the universe, there moves a wild one whose gestures alter Earth's axis towards love. In the immense darkness, everything spins with joy. The cosmos enfolds us. We are caught in a web of stars, cradled in a swaying embrace, rocked by the holy night, babes of the universe. Let this be the time we wake to life, like spring wakes in the moment of winter solstice. Joyful noise. Now I have to make the sermon bigger in the other direction. It is September, and I'm buying office supplies. My attention is caught by the sound of, wait, what? Jingle bells. Christmas music is on the store's sound system in September. It's October. I'm driving home, and a house in my neighborhood is decorated with gigantic skeletons, marking the walkway from the road to the front door. In between the skeletons are, wait, what? Green and red Christmas lights twinkling in the shrubbery around the house. It's November. The onslaught is in full force. I'm watching football. I mute the commercials. And on the television screen are, wait, what? Who knew there is such a thing as Christmas tacos? Christmas coffee and vehicles enhanced with snowflakes and bows. For months, we've been pushed and cajoled, marketed to, asked, and pleaded with to be a good Christmas citizen. How do we respond? How do we deal with the mayhem? For me, one answer is make a list. Make a list. Oh my goodness, my list impulse screams to write down everything I need to buy, remember, give, donate, and do before Christmas Day. I'm caught in the swirl of sensory overload that is the preamble to Christmas. Apparently, Halloween and Thanksgiving are merely in the way. I wonder how many of us feel buried under to-do lists of Christmas crazy. And it's not just Christmas. And at this point, I'd like to correct my use of the word crazy. I recognize that for some of us, the word crazy has been used in a derogatory manner to describe those of us who live every day with mental illness. So, for the record, what I mean here is chaos. Christmas chaos, the hectic scramble to arrange decorations, make food, buy gifts, remember where we stored the family treasures without which Christmas would just not be Christmas, purchase gift cards because we have no idea what the younger people want anyway, prepare for Santa, participate in the gift exchange, potluck, or obligatory so-called holiday party at work, and last but not least, we surrender. We surrender to losing the fight with the Christmas lights and run to Lowe's because it's just easier to buy new than to wrangle the old ones. And Lowe's wasn't even on the list. And to be honest, some of us, this is a confession, some of us might even put Lowe's on the to-do list after we come home from buying the new lights, just to relish the sheer joy of crossing something off the list. There's some resonating going on out there. I'm so glad I'm not alone. We are all too often frantic and frenetic with the obligations we feel we have. The obligations, real or imagined, to be good Christmas citizens, to be engaged in Christmas chaos. Now, lest you think I am picking on Christmas, rest assured that additional traditions honored at this time of the year include their own frenetic purchasing, decorating, and cooking. And if you celebrate and honor 2 or more of these traditions, your to-do lists multiply exponentially. For those of us who celebrate Hanukkah, we must find, unpack, and clean our menorah. Mine has soccer balls on it, hearkening to the days when my nephews played soccer. We might get gifts and also decide which charities to support. And every year, we have to do the exhausting work of educating beloved friends and family that Hanukkah is not Jewish Christmas. Then we have to go on the annual hunt for Hanukkah candles, which our mother reminds us we should have ordered online weeks ago. Celebrating Kwanzaa involves gathering friends and family, preparing a feast to honor ancestors, wearing ancestral clothes, making gifts, and lighting candles to symbolize the values of unity, self-determination, collective work and responsibility, cooperative economics, purpose, creativity, and faith. More food, more candles on the to-do list. Contemporary winter solstice celebrations might include burning a Yule log, spending the night outdoors, and catching the solstice sunrise. So the Yule log goes on the to-do list too. Whew. Join me in taking a very deep breath. In. Out. Let's do that again. Breathe in. And out. Better already. The sacred rituals associated with these holy days center the sacred nature of the eternal, predictable, joyful transformation of darkness into light, and occur around the time of the winter solstice. It's all about the light. I'm going to focus on the Christian tradition. In the Christian tradition, light is embodied in Jesus, the Christ. In the Jewish tradition, the menorah light celebrates the recovery of Jerusalem and the rededication of the Second Temple. This victory occurred when a small amount of lamp oil lasted for 8 nights, making it possible for the Jewish Maccabees to sustain their revolt. Kwanzaa light signifies the 7 principles drawn from varied African cultures and practices. Winter solstice celebrates the light from the dawning sun that marks the shift from short to longer days. All of these holy days are an invitation to prepare and celebrate. I don't think, however, that flamingos in Santa hats were exactly what the shapers of our holy days had in mind. And yet, we still buy flamingos in Santa hats. In the Christian tradition, the period leading up to Christmas Day is called Advent. The exact number of days and their associated rituals differ across Christian communities. Today, December 1st, marks the first day of Advent in most, but not all, Northern Hemisphere Western Christian traditions. Today, I want to put my Christmas chaos to-do lists aside, as hard as that is for me to do, and consider what the Advent season might teach me. What can I listen to and look for beyond the chaos that is Christmas? Here's what I'm thinking. There are many elements that shape the Advent season. The Advent season is an amalgamation of ancient and modern histories marked by ancient and modern practices, all held in holy days around the time of the winter solstice. Let me tell you, this is an intellectual and theological salad that is perfect for the nerdy, overeducated Unitarian Universalist that I am. So how might I consider the Advent season as a source of connection not only to my head, but to my heart, to my spirit? My Unitarian Universalist theology's values and promises center love as a primary theological commitment. What does this theology gain from exploring Advent? The histories of the Christian Advent are complex. In English, the word Advent with a capital A originates from the Latin words ad, meaning to, and venire, meaning come. Over time, ad and venire became adventus, meaning to come. Eventually, the Roman Christian Latin word adventus became synonymous with the coming of the Savior. As Christianity expanded and Latin became anglicized, the word Advent became what we call the period of weeks before Christmas Day. Advent was established in the year 336 AD during the reign of the Roman Emperor Constantine. December 25th was designated officially as the birth date of Jesus. And for the history nerds among us, December 25th is 9 months after the date the church decided would mark the Annunciation of Jesus' birth to his mother, Mary. Apparently, in addition to using solar and lunar rotations to generate theology, our church ancestors paid attention to the human gestation period. As Christianity became the official religion of the Roman Empire, church leaders aligned Christian holy days with existing sacred days and locations. The Christian period of Advent was scheduled to occur during the period leading up to the winter solstice. This period occurs between the end of the growing season and the beginning of the planting season. People would gather at sacred sites dedicated to honoring the winter solstice and celebrate the return of longer sun-filled days. The Roman Church appropriated this season, and the holy days associated with the winter solstice were overpowered by days celebrating the coming of the Christian Savior. For the very early church, Advent was a time to prepare Christians for baptism on the day of Epiphany. This day, established by the church on January 6th, was designated as the day that Jesus was first revealed to Gentiles, symbolized by the visit of the Magi to Jesus' birthplace. As Christian theologies developed, Advent became a time during which to prepare for the second coming of Jesus the Christ. Eventually, Advent became a season dedicated to the coming of Christ in three ways: the birth of Jesus in Bethlehem, the reception of Christ in the heart of believers, and the hope for Jesus' second coming. In the Christian Testament, Jesus the Christ is synonymous with light. Matthew 5:14 reads, "You are the light of the world. A city on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on its stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before men, that they may see your good deeds and praise your Father in heaven." In John 8:12, in the Christian Testament, Jesus states, "I am the light of the world." Also in the Christian Testament, 1 John 1:5 reads, "God is light, and in him is no darkness at all." So the theologies predicated on this Christian Testament create a scenario in which not only is Jesus the light of the world, but 1 John goes on and takes an additional step and asserts the supremacy of light and its stark distinction from the dark. This division between light and dark resulted in a powerful theological dichotomy that eliminates the association of light with dark and positions light and dark as opposing forces. The result is that days devoted to honoring the dark, long nights leading up to the winter solstice and the subsequent celebrations of dawn associated with the shift from dark to light became holy days non grata. Light became associated with good, dark associated with bad. Today, we might call this a very successful branding campaign with all kinds of consequences that are the subject of several sermons for several other days. Many of our contemporary customs were incorporated into the Advent season around the 16th century, as the focus of Advent turned more directly to the anticipation of and preparation for Christmas Day. These customs include candles, evergreens, fir trees, holly, mistletoe, laurel, and in more contemporary times, gifts, Santa Claus, stockings, colored lights, and celebratory foods. Today, these customs are wrapped in the sparkling, tinkling, raucous noise of Christmas chaos and the resultant to-do lists. The complex history of Advent is a Unitarian Universalist sandbox. The history of Advent weaves together multiple textual and earth-centered sacred sources of belief. A tenet of our UU theology is to honor multiple sacred sources. Advent results from the influence of messianic theologies as well as pagan beliefs. My UU theology includes a belief that spiritual revelation is lifelong and ongoing. Advent is an example of evolving theological frames in which rituals and liturgy that are dedicated to preparing for the divine have been and continue to be transformed and adjusted by time and place. Over centuries, Advent has been transformed to its current expressions. And consistent with our UU commitments to justice and the inherent worth and dignity of others, Advent teaches us how cultural misappropriation might have occurred in ancient Rome and might, in fact, continue today. What else might Advent teach me to access my spirit in the time of Christmas chaos? Christmas chaos. In October, some of you may have heard Rev. Jamie McReynolds talk about the recently revised statement and illustration of our Unitarian Universalist values and covenant. In this statement, Unitarian Universalists affirm that, quote, love is the power that holds us together, and at its center, and is at the center of our 6 interrelated values. Those values are interdependence, pluralism, justice, transformation, generosity, and equity. How might we create ritual and liturgy that reminds us of our theological commitments? Maybe there's inspiration in the Advent wreath, or, to riff off Jesse, the Advent calendar that has surprises in all the days. A current Advent ritual is to light candles on a wreath that symbolize hope, love, joy, and peace. You saw those words written on the Advent calendar, the little box that Jesse had this morning. Hope, love, joy, and peace for Christians is represented by Jesus the Christ. For 4 consecutive Sundays prior to the Christmas day, 1 candle is lit for each value. As a UU, I embrace hope, love, joy, and peace as consistent with my theologies. Can the Advent wreath inspire me and us to create rituals that honor UU values that encompass hope, love, joy, and peace? And maybe we might find ways to lift up our theological values, not just during Advent, but throughout the entire year. Here's another thing we might learn from the season of Advent. Advent occurs during the time of the year when the days are short and the nights are long. The ancient ritual of celebrating the winter solstice is embedded in our Unitarian, Universalist, and Unitarian Universalist ancestries and heritage. Winter solstice rituals center the natural wonder, the sacred nature of the mystery of the Earth's relationship with the sun. This mystery is bigger than we are as humans and welcomes darkness and light and all the gradations in between as equally divine. How might we take cues from winter solstice rituals that provide us with the holy work of restoration? Restoration of spirit, restoration of soul, restoration of body, restoration of heart. The winter solstice season is a time that enfolds the natural world in a dark blanket of rest and renewal, a time to prepare for the coming of longer days that naturally regenerate divine life. I think we have it in us to get beyond Christmas chaos. We can learn from the evolving histories of Advent, and we might consider how we as UUs might use this period to restore our spirit through self and collective reflection on our commitment to love and all of our values as we prepare for the upcoming longer days. And have no fear, we can still use our to-do lists. Our lists might include setting aside time to explore our UU theological frameworks, a list of ideas on how to center and activate love, a list that includes our thoughts on rituals that celebrate the fluidity of days and nights, and a list of suggestions for how to investigate and learn from the values promoted by Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, and the Christian Advent. Beyond the Christmas chaos are theologies, values, principles, and their associated rituals that embrace the restorative nature of periods of darkness and how they prepare us for divine transformation. So, Christmas music in September, gigantic skeletons in October, full throttle marketing in November. Maybe this December, we can use Rev Parker's words to embrace the crystalline darkness and to let there be a season when holiness is heard and the splendor of living is revealed. Advent is a time when a holy night is way beyond Christmas chaos. It is a season of transformation during which we go beyond Christmas chaos and can prepare for activating our values as we embrace the inevitable, magical, mysterious, divine shift of the Earth's rotation around the sun. May it be so.
Good morning. My name is Nancy Bratton, and I am the co-coordinator of the Special Collections for UUCR with Joanne Spetzler. UUCR has a special collection 4 times a year to benefit local community service or social justice agencies. Today will be our second collection, which will benefit Blue Ridge Literacy. All the donations today in the collection plate will go to Blue Ridge Literacy, as well as being able to give all month. There are multiple ways to be part of the collection giving. Put cash or a check in the collection plate this morning. The entire collection will go to Blue Ridge Literacy. Mail a check to the church. Please write your check to UUCR, with Blue Ridge Literacy in the memo line, or make an online contribution through the UUCR donation portal on our website, selecting special collections, Blue Ridge Literacy. We hope you all give generously for this worthy cause. Donations for Blue Ridge Literacy will be accepted through the whole month of December. So we want to take a few minutes to hear a little bit about what Blue Ridge Literacy is. Mary and Jimbo Harshfield are active volunteers with Blue Ridge Literacy, and Mary's going to talk a little bit about her experience, and the director is here to speak a little bit about what goes on there. So thank you.
Hello. So my husband, Jimbo, and I are big believers in the positive impact that Blue Ridge Literacy has in the Roanoke Valley. Jimbo has been volunteering as a tutor, working with a learner from Liberia, which he has done for over 10 years. And I started volunteering as a one-on-one tutor a year ago, working weekly with a recent immigrant from the Ukraine, and it's been a very rewarding experience for both of us. I'd like to introduce the executive director of Blue Ridge Literacy, Ahu Salem, who can tell you more about the many ways that this amazing organization serves the Roanoke Valley.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for having me here, and thank you for your support of Blue Ridge Literacy. The mission of Blue Ridge Literacy is to help adults reach their life goals through functional literacy skills. That's the reading, writing, and communication skills adults need to navigate everyday interactions and to make long-term plans. We do this by offering one-on-one literacy tutoring, English for speakers of other languages at 5 levels, from pre-beginner to post-advanced, contextualized classes such as English and Health and English and Digital Literacy, and citizenship preparation services. The ability to communicate in English is essential for social and economic integration of immigrants and refugees in the United States. The significance of BRL's affordable, accessible, and relevant services is evident through the increased demand for our services, serving 550 adults last year, up from 403 the previous year and 296 the year before that. Our learners get together with their tutors, instructors, and community partners, and I see many familiar faces in this room, to improve their English reading and writing and communication skills. And as they do that, we are reminded that none of us are isolated entities. We are parents, we are children, we are siblings and family members, we are friends and neighbors, and we are members of transnational and local communities. Our lives are as much affected by what happens in our respective countries of origin as by what happens here in our collective home in Roanoke, Virginia, United States. Blue Ridge Literacy was established in 1985, that is 39 years ago, by members of our community to serve the needs of our community members. As we head into 2025 and our 40th year of existence, we are confident that, despite any challenges, we will come together to achieve life goals through literacy skills, to help adults improve their ability to read, write, and speak in English, to get driver's license, to obtain jobs or get a promotion, and to become citizens for those who would be eligible. I'll be sitting in the other room with some informational material, and I would be very happy to share with you how you can join us in our continuous commitment for service and growth. Thank you very much.
generosity.
Good morning. I'm Jane Harrison from the Caring Committee, and it's my duty to, or my joy, to share the joys and the concerns of this congregation. If you have a joy or a concern you wish to share, you can notify the church office, you can talk to somebody in the Caring Committee, or you can write in the Lifelines book, which is kept on the altar on Sunday morning. We have a number of concerns this morning and some joy. First of all, and let me get my glasses on so I can see what I'm doing. Bruce Stewart is having reparative surgery on December 26th at Johns Hopkins. Please keep him in your thoughts and your prayers. Longtime friend of Jesse and pagan elder and Roanoke staple, Georgiana Gallagher, passed away last night after a brief hospitalization following a stroke. May her memory be forever a blessing. Also, Tim Adriano is presently residing in Carillion Rehab. And now for a joy. At our blood drive yesterday, UUCR and the Red Cross collected 15 units of blood from 17 donors who volunteered. There were 3 first-time donors at our drive. And that's pretty good for the weekend after Thanksgiving. Wow. If you have a joy that you have in your heart and you would like to light a candle this morning regarding that joy or that concern, please come forward using both sides of the altar.
As Reverend Judd would do, son, I will light a candle on behalf of those on YouTube who cannot be here, or members who would wish a candle that they could be.
Again, a deep breath. Remember to exhale. Join me in a posture of meditation. Put your feet on the floor. Sit tall and relaxed. Drop your shoulders. Imagine being embraced by a loving darkness that holds you close, keeps you safe, and gives you time to restore spirit, mind, body, heart. Take a deep breath in. Feel the miracle of the air entering your lungs. Express gratitude for the miracle of life that each of us holds and lives every day. And I will share some words by Reverend Rebecca Parker. Love trusts an ever larger benevolence and opens itself to ever wider vistas, like we see on a summer night out under the stars. When we feel the universe as a quilt stitched with tiny lights, wrapping us in a cradle of luminous darkness. Imagine the ways you can embrace and benefit from a cradle of luminous darkness as we prepare for and accept the light promised by the winter solstice. Blessed be, and amen.
We will I'll bring some information to you. We have a hanging of the greens immediately following the service, and by that, it means that we will bring out our Christmas tree and decorate it, and anybody who can stay and help will be grateful. We will be grateful for. And then there is a PHHS Holiday Bags Prep Party immediately following hanging of the greens. Can someone say what PHHS is? Okay, I thought maybe that was it, but I wasn't positive, so, okay. The previous listing of a dream workshop in the Olin Room on Monday evening from 6:30 to 8:30 has been changed. The dream workshop has now become a dream group, UU Dreamers, that will be meeting at the same time on Monday evenings. The dream group will remain open for the next 2 weeks to anyone who would like to join us. For more information, contact Wes Wyatt at 540-808-6293. It's in the bulletin. And one last announcement, there is a service of remembrance. So you may join, if you wish, join the Good Samaritan staff and volunteers for the annual lighting of the Love Light Tree. It's a remembrance service for the community. It's on Thursday, December 5th, 2024 at 4 o'clock. at Unity of Roanoke Valley on Green Ridge Road in Roanoke, and I'll put this in the fellowship room if you want to look at the details about that. Thank you.
Our closing song is in your hymnal, but you don't have hymnals, so it's on the screen. So no choices to be made here. This is People Look East, which is a beautiful Advent hymn for the season. Yeah, can you guys do
People look east, the time is near, of the crowning of the year. Make your spirits you are able, dream the heart and set the table. People look east and sing today, love the guest is on the way. Furrows be glad, the youth is there, one more seed is planted there. Give up your strength, the seed to nourish, planting course that flower may flourish. People look east and sing today, love the roses on the way. Stars keep the watch when night is dim, one more night the bowl shall brim. Shiny lonely frosty weather, bright as sun and moon together. People look east and sing today, love the star is on the way.
Go in peace, knowing that Advent offers us a time for reflection and preparation for transformation. May you be stunned to stillness by beauty. Remember who you are and why you are here. Go in peace until we meet again. Blessed be.
Jesus, our brother, kind and good. I said the donkey shaggy